Is the desktop computer dead? If you look at the sales charts for traditional PC towers, those massive, dust-gathering boxes that have dominated our offices for decades, you might think so. The world has moved to laptops, to tablets, to computing on the go. But if you look at what Apple is doing, the story is very different. There is a storm coming to the world of compact computing, and it isn't a laptop. It isn't a phone. It is the Mac Mini M5. We have been tracking leaks, analyzing supply chain rumors, and looking at the architecture of the upcoming M5 chips for months. And one thing is becoming crystal clear. The value king is about to return to its throne. If you thought the M4 Mac Mini was a steal, you need to see what is coming next. This isn't just an upgrade. It is a reset of what we expect from a $599 computer. Let's be honest about the current state of the Mac Mini. The M4 version set a ridiculously high bar. It brought incredible performance, a smaller footprint, and finally gave us 16 gigabytes of RAM as the standard. It felt like the perfect machine. So, how does Apple top perfection? They don't reinvent the wheel. They refine the engine. In this deep dive, we're going to expose everything we know about the M5 Mac Mini. We're going to talk about the insane specs, the release date, the pricing strategy, and the one specific storage upgrade that is going to make this the best-selling computer of the decade. Buckle up. First, let's address the elephant in the room. The design. The Mac Mini M5, expected to arrive in 2026, is not going to look different. You won't see a new chassis. You won't see a radical new shape or a new color that changes everything. It will likely be identical on the outside to the current model. And you know what? That is a good thing. As tech enthusiasts, we know that the design is just the wrapper. The real magic is what is happening on the silicon. Apple has finally found a form factor that works perfectly, a tiny footprint that disappears on your desk. By keeping the manufacturing tooling the same, they save costs. And where do those savings go? They go directly into the performance. The Mac Mini has always been about invisible computing. It's not there to be stared at. It's there to power your life without taking up space. The M5 doubles down on this philosophy. It's the ultimate sleeper build. The M5 chip is no longer a mystery. Thanks to leaks regarding the next-generation Vision Pro, the future iPad Pro, and the M5 MacBook Pro, we have a very clear picture of what this silicon is capable of, and the headlines are surprising. Usually, when we talk about a new chip generation, we look for massive CPU gains. We want to see those Geekbench single-core scores fly off the charts. We want to see 30%, 40% boosts in raw processing speed. But the M5 is taking a different approach. The CPU performance is expected to rise by roughly 10 to 15% compared to the M4. On paper, that might sound a little boring. You might hear 10% and think, why should I upgrade? My M2 is fast enough. But you have to remember the context. The M4 is already an extremely fast foundation. It is faster than 90% of the desktops on the market today. Adding 15% on top of extremely fast makes for a computer that opens apps instantly and handles heavy multitasking without breaking a sweat. We are reaching a point of diminishing returns with CPU speed for the average user. Apple knows this, so they aren't dumping their transistor budget into the CPU. This is the real story. This is the reason you should be paying attention. The graphics performance is where the M5 is going to separate itself from everything else in its price bracket. Despite still using a 10-core GPU architecture, the rumors suggest the M5 will deliver up to 45% faster graphics performance than the M4. Read that again. 45%. That is a massive generational leap. Usually, we are happy with 15 or 20% in the GPU department. A 45% jump changes the game entirely. This isn't just about smoother animations in macOS. This is about enabling entirely new workflows on a base model machine. What does a 45% GPU boost mean in the real world? It means better gaming. Apple has been pushing hard into the gaming space, and the M5 might be the chip that finally makes 1440p gaming viable on an entry-level Mac. It means faster video rendering. If you are an editor using Final Cut Pro or DaVinci Resolve, your render times are going to plummet. It means smoother 3D RK. Blender renders architectural fly-throughs, and complex CAD work will feel significantly more fluid. It turns the entry-level Mac Mini into a legitimate graphics powerhouse for the average user. It blurs the line between a consumer device and a pro workstation. Now, let's talk about the big brother, the M5 Pro. If you're a professional video editor, a developer compiling massive code bases, or a creative who needs serious horsepower, this is where things get aggressive. The base M5 is cute. The M5 Pro is a monster. Leaks suggest Apple is going to offer two versions of the M5 Pro chip. A bin version with 14 CPU cores. An unbinned beast with 16 CPU cores. Both of these will likely retain 4 efficiency cores to keep the machine quiet and cool during light tasks like web browsing or email. But when you hit export, the performance cores wake up. We're talking about performance cores scaling up to 10 or even 12 active units. Think about that for a second. We're talking about pushing 12 high-performance cores into a box that fits in the palm of your hand. That is a level of density that is hard to wrap your head around. It rivals massive tower PCs that draw 500 watts of power, yet the Mac Mini M5 Pro will do it while sipping energy. The memory situation on the Pro model is just as impressive. We expect RAM options to start at 24 gigabytes and scale all the way up to 48 or even 64 gigabytes. This mirrors the current Pro strategy, but with the added efficiency of the M5 architecture and higher memory bandwidth. Rumored to be around 153 gigabytes per second. That memory goes even further. This isn't just a mini computer anymore. It is a studio replacement. You could drive multiple high-resolution displays, likely 3 6K displays, run complex simulations, or edit 8K video footage natively, all from a device that barely takes up space on your desk. But performance specs are only half the battle. There is one specific specification that has everyone talking. Value up. Pricing is expected to stay exactly the same. The Mac Mini M5 is projected to start at $599. The M5 Pro model should start around $1,399. When you consider the inflation of component costs, the rising price of TSMC's wafer manufacturing, and the general economic climate, keeping the price at $599 is a miracle. But consider what you are getting for that $599. A 10-core CPU, a GPU that is 45% faster than the M4, 16 gigabytes of RAM, standard, potential 512 gigabytes of storage, standard. There is no PC builder in the world who can build a tower with these specs, this build quality, and this form factor for $599. It is impossible. This reinforces the idea that Apple wants the Mac Mini to be the gateway drug into their ecosystem. They know that if they can get you to buy a $599 Mac, you might buy an iPhone. You might buy AirPods. You might subscribe to iCloud. They are willing to take a lower margin on the hardware to get you into the garden. And as consumers, we win. Here is my honest opinion. The current M4 Mac Mini is fantastic. If you need a computer today, buy it. You will love it. But the M5 is shaping up to be the refinement that makes the platform perfect. It addresses the graphical power needs of modern apps and games, and it potentially fixes the storage bottleneck. It proves that you don't need a giant tower to have giant performance. If you're sitting on an M1 Mac Mini or an Intel Mac, hold the line. Wait for 2026. The M5 will be the upgrade you've been waiting for. It is quiet, it is powerful, and it respects your wallet. The desktop isn't dead. It's just getting smaller, faster, and better. If you liked this deep dive into the future of the Mac, please subscribe to the channel. Share this video with your friends who are looking to upgrade their setup, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our next update. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.